The secret plot to destroy the biggest star in basketball history is no longer a rumor. Caitlin Clark is walking into a trap on this global tour that was designed in the dark corners of the league office. We have uncovered the evidence that proves international veterans have signed a blood pact to physically break the superstar. This is not about basketball anymore. This is a coordinated hit job meant to humiliate the girl who saved the league from irrelevance. Before we expose the names of the veterans who sold out for this scheme, you need to join the truth seekers. Subscribe to Basketball Spilled right now and join our Inner Circle membership for exclusive weekly documentaries that the league is trying to ban. Hit that hype button and use the super thanks to support our investigation. The league wants to keep this quiet, but your support allows us to keep the cameras rolling on the corruption. Join the Inner Circle today and get the real story behind the scoreboard. The global tour was supposed to be a victory lap for the WNBA and its new face, but leaked memos from the league's International Operations Department tell a much darker story. These documents confirm a secret agreement between several high-profile international veterans and league officials. The goal is simple: use the lack of international officiation oversight to physically break Clark into submission. They are calling it a Physicality Pact, but in reality, it is a license to commit assault on the court. These veterans are furious that a rookie has taken their sponsorships and their airtime. They feel like the established stars are being pushed into the shadows by the Clark effect. So, they decided to take matters into their own hands during this tour. The plan is to use aggressive, uncalled fouls to rattle Clark's confidence and ruin her shooting rhythm. They want the world to see her struggle so they can claim she is just a product of hype. We have seen the details of the closed-door meetings held in Europe just weeks ago. These players sat around a table and discussed exactly how they would target her. They talked about setting illegal screens that would leave her bruised and battered. They talked about hard fouls at the rim that the international refs have been told to ignore. This is a professional hit job disguised as a basketball game. The league officials are not just watching this happen, they are sanctioning it. Our insiders have confirmed that the front office is quietly encouraging this hostility. They are terrified that Clark is becoming more powerful than the league itself. By allowing the veterans to embarrass her on a global stage, they hope to regain control of the narrative. They want to show that the old guard still runs this game, even if it means ruining their biggest asset. The jealousy in the locker room has reached a boiling point that most fans cannot even imagine. These older players see the private jets and the multi-million-dollar brand deals, and they want to burn it all down. One veteran was overheard saying that she would make sure Clark left the tour with more than just a loss. She wanted to make sure Clark left with the fear of ever stepping on the court again. This is the kind of toxic environment the league has created by catering to the egos of bitter stars. The Physicality Pact is not just about hard play, it is about psychological warfare. The veterans have agreed to use specific language and gestures to get under Clark's skin. They want to bait her into technical fouls and ejections. They want to create a montage of her looking frustrated and defeated. If they can make her look like a diva who cannot handle the pressure, they win. They are weaponizing her passion against her to make her look like the villain. But the evidence of this scheme is starting to leak out from the players who refuse to join. A few international stars were disgusted by the proposal and have started talking. They described a culture of bullying where anyone who supports Clark is treated like an outcast. If you are not part of the pact, you are considered an enemy of the established order. This is a high school clique mentality on a professional level. The league has gone so far as to manipulate the officiating assignments for the tour. They are choosing referees who are known for letting the game get out of control. These officials have been given points of emphasis that conveniently overlook the types of fouls the veterans plan to use. It is a rigged game before the ball is even tipped. They are setting the stage for a massacre and calling it tough international play. This is the same league that claimed to be about empowerment and sisterhood. It turns out that sisterhood only applies if you are not outshining the veterans. The moment Clark started breaking records and selling out arenas, the sisterhood turned into a snake pit. The hypocrisy is staggering, but the facts don't lie. The paper trail of emails and memos shows a league that is more interested in protecting egos than protecting their players. We have seen how this played out in the past with other rising stars, but never on this scale. The level of coordination for this global tour plot is unprecedented. It involves logistics, officiating, and even marketing teams. They are timing the release of certain negative stories to coincide with her struggles on the tour. It's a multi-platform attack on a 22-year-old girl who just wants to play basketball. The veterans involved in this pact think they are untouchable. They think their status as legends protects them from criticism, but they are nothing more than bullies who are scared of the future. They know that once Clark fully takes over, their era of mediocrity is over. They are fighting for their lives, and they are willing to play dirty to stay relevant for just one more season. The league's silent approval of this behavior is the biggest betrayal of all. They are supposed to be the guardians of the game, but they are acting like mob bosses. They are allowing their players to behave like thugs on the court because it serves their political interests. They would rather see Clark in a hospital bed than see her continue to dominate the conversation. It's a sick and twisted way to run a professional organization. One specific memo detailed a plan to crowd the space during her warm-ups. The veterans want to ensure she never feels comfortable, even before the game starts. They want her to feel the weight of their hatred every second she's in the arena. They are planning to use their bodies as weapons to ensure she cannot get a clean look at the basket. This is not defense, it is harassment. The brand deals that Clark has signed are also a target of this coordinated scheme. The veterans and the league want to show sponsors that she is a liability. They are hoping that a string of bad performances and emotional outbursts will lead to companies pulling their support. They want to hit her where it hurts the most, her bank account. It's a level of pettiness that is hard to wrap your head around. But the truth is coming out, and the fans are starting to see through the charade. They see the late hits and the uncalled elbows. They see the way the veterans smirk when Clark is knocked to the floor. The league thinks they can hide this behind the guise of competition, but it is clearly something much more sinister. This is a league-wide conspiracy to dim the brightest light in the sport. The people who are orchestrating this need to be held accountable. The manipulative vets and the corrupt front office think they can get away with this because they've done it before. But the world is watching now. Caitlin Clark has a fan base that is larger than the league itself, and they are not going to let this slide. Every hard foul and every biased officiating call will be documented and exposed. They want to break her spirit, but they are only making her a martyr. The more they attack her, the more the fans rally to her side. The veterans are actually destroying their own legacies by acting like this. History will not remember them as great players. It will remember them as the bitter group that tried to ruin the best thing that ever happened to the WNBA. They are the architects of their own downfall. As the tour moves from city to city, the intensity of the attacks is expected to increase. The Pact members have already scouted the arenas for the best places to send a message. They are looking for the blind spots where the cameras might miss the most physical encounters. They are treating this like a military operation rather than a series of exhibition games. It's a disgusting display of professional jealousy. The league is playing a dangerous game with the health of their players. By allowing this Physicality Pact to exist, they are inviting a serious injury. If Clark gets hurt because of a sanctioned hit job, the league will never recover. They are risking everything just to satisfy the egos of a few disgruntled veterans. It's the height of mismanagement and corporate greed. We have seen the leaked audio from a recent team meeting where a veteran told her teammates to finish the job during the upcoming international stretch. The language used was aggressive and violent. There was no talk of strategy or winning. It was only about causing pain and humiliation. This is the toxic teammate culture that has been allowed to fester for too long. The veterans are trying to hide behind the old school excuse. They say the game was always this tough and that Clark just needs to toughen up. But there is a difference between tough play and targeted hostility. What we are seeing on this tour is a coordinated effort to suppress a specific player's success. It is not old school, it is no class. The league's marketing department is even in on the act. They are preparing to frame any struggle Clark has as a learning curve or a reality check. They are already writing the scripts for the post-game analysis that will downplay her talent. They want to manage her descent from stardom so they can elevate their preferred players. It is a propaganda machine that would make a dictator proud. But Clark is not going away quietly. Despite the bruises and the constant harassment, she continues to show up and compete. Her resilience is the one thing the veterans did not account for in their pact. They thought she would fold after the first few hits, but she keeps getting back up. Their plan to break her is actually revealing her true greatness to the world. The corrupt front office is now in damage control mode because of these leaks. They are trying to find the whistleblowers who exposed the memos. They are threatening players with fines and suspensions if they speak out about the pact. But the cat is out of the bag. The fans know the truth, and no amount of PR spin can fix the damage that has been done to the league's reputation. The international veterans involved in this scheme should be ashamed. They have traded their integrity for a chance to bully a rookie. They are showing the world that they are not leaders. They are just gatekeepers who are afraid of change. They would rather rule over a dying league than thrive in a growing one. Their short-sightedness is as pathetic as their behavior on the court. The global tour was meant to be a celebration of the game, but it has become a monument to the league's corruption. Every game played under these conditions is a stain on the history of the sport. The Physicality Pact is a disgrace, and the league's involvement is a betrayal of every fan who bought a ticket. They thought they could humiliate Clark in the shadows, but we have brought the light. The veterans who signed that pact are the real losers here. They might land a few hard fouls, and they might even cause a few bad games, but they cannot stop the inevitable. Caitlin Clark is the future, and they are the bitter past. Their attempt to ruin her reputation has only succeeded in ruining their own. They are the villains of this story, and they will be remembered as such. Caitlin Clark is the victim of a league that was never ready for her greatness, and now she is paying the price for their insecurity. The veterans and the league office have proven that they would rather destroy their stars than share the spotlight. This global tour was never about basketball. It was a desperate attempt to put a ceiling on a player who was born to fly. The conspiracy to embarrass Clark is the final proof that the WNBA is its own worst enemy.